So before proceeding, let's go ahead and create a new backup configuration. Click on the button, which takes us to the Create New Backup Configuration page. Here we have all the required information for creating a new backup config. Let's start with the client IP. Oops. Alrighty, so we can see that there's no IP addresses listed over here for the clients, and that is because we have not yet registered any of the clients with the server. However, we can definitely see that there are users that were created by our seeder on the first run of the application. And so before proceeding, let's go ahead and register one client to with the server so we can use it to create a new backup config. And in order to do that, we'll have to actually go back to the same command window that we left for this very purpose. Open and run our utility with the install switch. Now, running it with the install switch will actually perform the task of registering the client with the server and also updating the scheduler. So I already had the task scheduler open over here. We see that there are no tasks by the name of the backup app here, but after we install, we will have the client registered with the server and a scheduler task. Let's go ahead and do it. Alrighty, so that ran successfully, giving no errors, indicating it was a success. Let me refresh the tasks list and we see, voila, there is a backup task available here. Now, this backup task is currently configured to for a probe interval of 60 minutes, which means that every hour it's going to probe the server to inquire if there is a new backup configuration for this client. And in case there is one, it's going to update the task scheduler time to the one specified in the config and also add the required action, as in the source and the target. So let's proceed with creating our backup configuration here. Yes, so I just need to refresh the page. There we have our client IP available now. So just for the sake of demonstration, I'm using the same computer as the client and the network share. But yes, we can very well use the same utility on any of the clients available on the network, and it will work just fine. So let's just select one of the users for each of the source and destinations. And okay, so I'll have to now create some test setup. So let me create a test source directory, which I will use to backup. And for simplicity, let me just create the backup location here itself. So the test destination is going to be the location that's going to contain our backups. And what is it going to back up? It's going to back up a new text file. It's a very important text file that has been shared by the manager, and it contains some confidential data. Alrighty, so now we can specify this path test destination as in the destination and the source as the source. And we want to schedule the backup so we are able to run that as quickly as possible without wasting any more demo time. Right now the time is 7:11 on my server, so let me specify 7:12, well, 7:13. Let me specify 7:14. I would like to enable this backup configuration. I'll create it. Alrighty, so there we go. It just created our new backup configuration. After clicking OK, it takes us to the view page. And without wasting any more time, we'll come back to this and discuss this page in more detail. Let's just quickly go back to the utility, and so now this, I'm just simulating what will happen on that 60-minute probe interval. So every 60 minutes, the task scheduler is going to run this very command. But before we proceed, we should actually go ahead and update the time for the backup first of all, because the server instead reads 8:06 at the moment. So let's go ahead and put the time as 8:08 for the backup to run. Let me go ahead and edit the backup configuration. So being an administrator, as I'm logged in right now, I'm able to create, edit, perform all the administrative functions on the configuration, as we can see. So let me change this to 8:07, 8:08. Just give us some more time to be able to perform other activities in the meanwhile. Alright, so there we go. Okay, so 8:08 hours, and we have a quick look at the activities. So this is just a dummy which I ran from before. And okay. So let me just quickly run this. So this is basically a simulation of how the hourly probe will run this utility. So let's assume that now 60 minutes have reached and the test scheduler is now running the hourly probe, and this is what will happen. Alright. So supposedly and hopefully the 7:14 AM time from this should have changed to 8:08. If I refresh it, there you go. And also we should have an entry here in the activity log that the same has been done. So the agent scheduler updated to 8:08 hours successfully. Great. And we go back to home. And now we wait for the time to hit 8:08. And that is when we'll be able to experience and observe how the actual agent on any of the LAN machines will execute the backup based on the config that we have specified here. So now the time has hit 8:08, and let's go ahead and see if there has been any activity for this configuration. So scroll down to the end. Alrighty. So here it says that the backup from this source to destination was completed successfully, and this was an agent scheduler invocation. So this activity log has been generated at 8:08 AM, exactly when the scheduler must have fired the job or the task. So now all that's left to verify is to go back to our destination and find that the file which was here in source is also available at the backup location. So there we go. We see that there's a folder by my machine name created here. If I go inside it, we have the confidential data being backed up to the backup location. Alright, so far so good. So fortunately I didn't hit any serious demo god curses during the demonstration. That was good. So let's now proceed with some other minor details and things which we were not able to discuss before in this video. And to start with, let me just close this for now. We are done with it. So now you see if I'm logged out, the normal user can only view the basic information and does not have access to any of the administrative tasks. Alrighty, so if I go, let me just close this one, close this too. I'll delete this task, it's not required anymore. Close this. So another thing which I wanted to demonstrate on this video was running the Angular tests, which I missed the last time. So here all I need to do is simply open a command window at this location, and you might want to run npm install to ensure all the npm packages are back in place as they were before. So it seems they were, and all I need to do is run karma start. And this is the test center created specifically by the Angular team for running Angular tests, and I've configured this to be used with Jasmine. So the test specification or the test spec which we have in the test folder inside the backup app here simply verifies that the backup config service exists. You can specify if there's a method that exists or there's a business logic which you want to verify using the unit test. But this is just for demonstration purposes, so let me just go ahead and execute karma start, which should automatically pull up the spec and execute it right here. So there we go. We can see that the backup configuration service test should exist. Get all backup configs. Well, actually, I had verified, or was trying to verify this method name over there, but somehow I missed it. So let me just go ahead and put that back in. So what I was trying to verify was the method name get all backup configs, and that is why I named the test as so, but somehow I forgot to specify the method name here. Alrighty, so now this test is actually verifying that the get all backup configs method on the backup config service exists or not. So let me go back to the karma test runner and perform a karma start. And there we go. So this test ran successfully, which means that the method actually exists and our unit test has passed. Let's close this for now. Another thing which I missed, and I personally like that very much. I think it's a pretty nifty tool for developers, especially for the developers of REST APIs like this one, and that is called Swagger by Swashbuckle. And we can install that very easily using the NuGet packages, using the Swagger NuGet command, and it helps us analyze and work with the API without even developing a client application. So it's like a REST API client, but it's very rich in its UI and its format, the information it presents, the interaction, and the details. So let me just quickly demonstrate that too. So let's say that I go here. All I need to do is go to Swagger, and it will take me to the API definition page. So there we are. So currently our API exposes 3 APIs, one for backup configuration, one for client, and one for user. And each of the endpoints are listed under the respective headers. We can perform all the operations that are listed here without even having to create a client or using another REST client like Postman. But I personally like this a lot because all the operations are listed here already, so you don't have to really worry about any of the boilerplate setup. You can simply go ahead and view all the information, use post, put, delete, whatever operation you want that are exposed by the APIs can be simply executed from here itself. So, for example, getting all the backup configurations also specifies the schema, and a lot of information details are mentioned on this Swagger page, and that's why it's like a power tool. It makes development more fun and easier to test. So that's about it. And I hope that you enjoyed the video and the description of the application. Although I have try to ensure that there are as less bugs or errors as possible, but of course, given the limited time that I used for developing the application, there must have been some that creeped in. But I would really welcome your feedback. Please let me know what you think about the implementation, and I hope that you'll be impressed by it, you'll like it, and it'll prove to be of use to you. So thank you very much for your time and patience, and have a great day at wherever you are. Thank you.